Spider-Man No Way Home has finally arrived. The third installment of the MCU Spider-Man is finally here, and it did not disappoint. It's a continuation of the previous film, Spider-Man No Way Home. That is not the title of the previous film. What was it? Homecoming? Homecoming? No. Far From Home. Spider-Man Home Invasion. Whatever. I have had enough of these home titles. Whatever. So basically, it's a continuation of the previous film where Mysterio revealed who Spider-Man is, and Peter has to live off with the difficulties of the whole world knowing who Spider-Man is. And with that being said, he is asking for Doctor Strange's help to erase everyone's memory, forgetting who Spider-Man is. And that did not went according to plan, so Peter has to fix things up like he always does. So today, I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about the movie. So let me start off by saying that I went into this with zero to little expectations. Like, the media was hyping it up really much. Like, I was afraid that the movie was going to stink. So I was going with little to no expectations. Yet, here I am being blown away of how good it was. The movie was really great. It was filled with all sorts of emotions. It was filled with happy and cheerful, all the way to anger and sadness. When I was watching the movie, I genuinely feel like I was a kid again. Like, it was so much fun to watch. Like, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of the adventure. Like, it was so much fun watching Peter swinging around with his web shooters and just fighting off all of these huge bad guys all at once. Yet, it also shows how being Spider-Man is really dangerous. Like, being Spider-Man comes with a lot of consequences. Like, just being around Spider-Man, knowing who Spider-Man is, comes with a lot of consequences, let alone having an unmasked Spider-Man. It comes with a great deal of consequences. It's going to be a dangerous ride. No Way Home has a good way of contrasting the man behind the mask. It shows off the good part of being Spider-Man, how fun it is, how adventurous it can be, but it also shows us how sad and miserable being Spider-Man really is. I'm also glad that Peter finally learns his lesson throughout the film, and we get the most infamous quote of all time: "With great power comes great responsibility." Which is the driving force for Peter to be Spider-Man, that now he has to clean his own mess up. And that's great because at the end of the day, Peter is just a kid, he's just a teenager. He's not thinking rationally, he's just doing whatever he wants. That's saying something, that finally, we're shown that Peter finally grows up. He's now becoming an adult. Yeah, that's something that's really interesting about this movie, that Peter is finally growing up, that he's being his own man, which is something that I'm glad this movie touched on. So, the acting of this film. Tom Holland, great performance as always, phenomenal Peter Parker, phenomenal Spider-Man. Like, he can show how clumsy Peter Parker can be, how nerdy, how awkward he can be with other people. Yet he also shows how annoying, how cool Spider-Man is towards villains, which is something that's really cool as... Alright, so my camera suddenly stopped recording at this point forward. I don't know why. I didn't realize it until later on. So I'm just gonna continue what I just said. So I was saying that Tom Holland as Spider-Man was phenomenal, but everyone else also did a great job. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx as Electro. The list goes on. I cannot remember every single one of them, but these actors gets a second chance of truly showing what they're capable of, and this time they did not disappoint. It shows that they still got it and are still passionate about the characters. And yeah, also huge credit for Benedict Cumberbatch to show up as Doctor Strange. Every time Doctor Strange shows up in a Marvel movie, it makes the movie 100% more interesting to watch. And yeah, that's all I've got to say in this voiceover. Alright, so camera shuts off. which is really amazing. Nice. So the CGI of the movie, it's really great. It's a Marvel movie, what can you say? CGI is going to be top notch. But one thing for sure, it's not overdone, which is something that Marvel struggle a lot these days. Like I could see like this scene is CGI, yet in Spider-Man, it's not overdone. Like I could still feel like it's CGI, yet it's not that bad. Like I could still feel like it's real, which is something really cool. And yeah, Marvel, good job, man, good job. So with that being said, there's not much bad things I could say about the film. Like it literally is one of the best film I've watched recently. It had a good storyline, it had good plots, it had good characters. The pacing was really good, not bad. It was really enjoyable to watch. Yet okay, yeah, there's one thing. There's this cringy pop culture references. For example, let's Scooby-Doo this. Like, what was that? Why? There's no need for that. It wasn't even related to Spider-Man at all. Like, it wasn't necessary. It's not needed. You're just trying too hard to be one of the cool kids. Woo. No, just stop it. Just stick with regular lines that the writers made up. Like, there's no need for that. Like, yeah. So with that being said, Spider-Man No Way Home is a really good movie. Not only that, it's also a very good Spider-Man movie, which is something hard to say because there's a lot of Spider-Man movies and this is one of it. It's really good. But if you hate Spider-Man like really, that's so hard to say. Really hate Spider-Man. Like you want to cut his head open and just eat their brains. You should probably go to the doctor because this movie is not for you. But if you are interested and you are a huge Marvel, not only Marvel Spider-Man fan, then this movie is for you. That's all for me, right? Yeah, wait, I have to rate it. Spider-Man No Way Home, I give it 9.5 out of 10 web shooters. It's really good. Like I highly recommend it. It's really good. It's worth your while. And yeah, that's all for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and yeah, I'll see you next time. See ya.